What's up? We're the Freestyle Freaks on HamiltonRadio.net. I'm Rapper Ryan, also known as DJ Noise. This is my right-hand man, Lloyd the Kid. What is up, brother?
What's up?
How you been?
Not bad, pretty good, man. You know, just chilling, man.
How was your weekend?
Did some crib shopping. Yes.
Oh, house?
Yes. It's exhausting.
Oh, yeah. It's, when I was looking for a house, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it took us 2 years. And I mean, we seen house after house after house after house.
Yeah.
Having a house cheap, you know. How you doing, sir? You know, after, you know, our 30th house we went to see, you know, we ultimately decided on a house. I mean, well, it wasn't a decision on a house. The ball wasn't on our court. What had happened was, you know, we happened to stumble into a house that literally just went on the market. It was an estate house. And they had an asking price, and we offered the price. We kind of offered slightly a little bit more than what they were asking. Let's say, well, they were asking 12, and we offered 15, you know. And so they're like, okay, we'll think about this, you know. So I had to go through, you know, through this, through that. So, you know, we had a. It was a hurdle. First, you had to go through a negotiation of price. So it came back to us. I remember this. It was my anniversary, and I was going to Philly that day. And as I remember really good, the realtor called and said, "Hey, they want this amount for the house." And then I said, "This is what we're going to do." And, you know, I said to Linda, "Do you want this house or not?" I said, "Because if you don't want this house, then we're not going to get it." So you want this house? I'll get it right now. It was all right. So I said to the realtor, I said, "Listen, this is what you're going to take. This is what you want. I want you to offer them, and I'm not going to offer another penny." So we offered. We came back. It's like, they want this. And I said, no. They're already asking for this amount. In the beginning, we offered a little bit more to be nice. Then we go back and now we're offering more above what they're asking. Listen, if they're going to take the amount that we're offering now and offer nothing more, nothing less, we'll make a couple demands here and there, but this is what we want. And, you know, they came back and said, we'll take it. We had to wait through all that, you know, all that attorney review and whatever. And it was stressful. It was not, buying a house is probably the top 3 most stressful things you can do in life.
But y'all both came to the ultimate decision, you know. Like, yes. My main thing is
we now we feel that we've grown out of the house.
Yeah.
And, you know, now we're preparing to, you know, to make repairs if they need to be, you know, upgrades, anything, you know, to spruce up the house, to ultimately end game is to sell the house and move into something bigger, you know, something maybe cheaper, maybe something out of the township, something, you know, maybe out of the state. It depends on, you know, the options that we encounter at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's, you know, it's a slow process.
I just don't want to. We had to settle for this house. That's what I don't want.
Well, that's how that's in a way, that's what I feel like sometimes that we had. It's not like, it's not the dream house. You know, I don't know if women are the only ones that are allowed to have dreams of dream houses.
Yeah, mine is way out of my tax bracket. I go off of how she feels. If she's delighted about it and she glows for it, then I'm for it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, do you have a dream house? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if guys are allowed to have a dream house.
Listen, some of the ones that I walked into, amazing.
Right?
Yeah, some of the ones I walked into.
When you find out the price, you're like, ooh.
It's been stuff. It was minor stuff. Like, you know, it might have been the perfect house, but it's in a flood zone. or this one might have been a perfect house,
And that flood insurance is a pain.
but the water heater is like 50 years old, or the roof is
You can
old.
always change the water heater. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Look, if you're gonna buy a house, tell them I'll buy this house on contingent that you repair the heater yourself now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because they'll try to get you and say that they'll put a lot of your payments to the back end and all this whole other yada
Well,
yada.
I gotta say, I had a really good realtor. I had a really good, financial. I had everything. My whole entire process. You know, I went out and got the lawyer. I asked him. He gave me an offer, and I said, "Listen, this is what I got." He goes, "This is what I was supposed to be gonna, looking to spend." So what we figured in our, budget to spend. He goes, "Yeah, I'll take it. That works. We'll do it." Um, but it was it was a stressful time. Looking, for a house, buying a house. Because the journey looking through houses is, the realtor's gonna take you. They're not gonna just take you into, and whoever's watching or listening, could call in if you can agree with me. You walking into somebody else's house, sometimes they're still living there. They're selling, because the family's broken up. Mom, dad, mom, or dad, whoever. The situation is splitting up. The household is splitting up. You walking into somebody's life, you could feel the bad vibes. Immediately you don't want to move into the house because of the bad vibes. You see how people live. You walk into certain houses, you see holes in the wall. Oh, this is a beautiful living space. But you got a hole in the freaking ceiling. That's just got to be repaired. We could repair that. Or have a hole in the foundation. Oh, that's an easy fix. And you got to think. And sometimes you're not walking into just houses that are, still living. Being used, occupied. You're walking into houses that are foreclosed, that are sitting there. 8 or 9 times out of 10, still furniture, the belongings of the family that left, that couldn't afford the house, the family that somebody passed away, and you know what I'm saying. You're walking into these environments. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we're starting our show talking about something like this, but you start to think, about the past, who's been there, as your journey of buying a house. You start to think, as you're walking through people's houses, you look at their old pictures and stuff like that, and you're picturing yourself in that home that they've occupied. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and whoever's watching, listening, I'm pretty sure you can probably agree that that's the feeling that I've always gotten.
That's about right.
And
yeah, like I look, see, like this person's military personnel, or their kids are in.
We ask, hey, did somebody die in his house? You know what I'm saying?
I want to ask that.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like my wife's a little weird. She would do that. She would really do that.
I can't bring myself.
Does anybody died in his house? Can you find out? I mean, because we're in the beginning of the month. It's October. This is our first month of October. So, we're talking about going to people's houses. People want to know if people you want to feel the vibe. You want to walk into that house. How that house is vibing. That's what you want to replicate. That's what you want to. That's what you want to.
I freak my kids out. Every house that got a crawl space, I say that's where they put Annabelle at.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if don't think of me crazy or anything, but you walking through a house that a whole family is just murdering through, and the red tape is on there. You know what I'm saying? Your vibe is not gonna be like, whoa, we're not gonna move into this. So, making a sound story, you want to walk into a house that the windows are open, flowers are there. You want to picture yourself into, say, damn, I could live here. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
I guess
You
that's.
said a whole family murdered there. Would you move in a whole family?
Oh hell no. I mean, I mean, I don't know. I mean, people are superstitious. So back to what I was saying is, we moved into an apartment years ago, and we felt, we felt from the get go, we felt bad vibes in there. We don't know if it was, different energy. The apartments that we were living in, they were a military hospital for one. We don't know if that was an ancient Indian burial ground on top of that. And we don't know who occupied the house or the apartment before that. But we do know that in our apartment, one guy died on the balcony, and a guy took his own life in the house over a girl.
Okay.
So it kind of like, we split up. So we went through a whole split up, through all that. So, it was only right that while we were looking for a house, we reconciled. We said, all right, let's go get a house. And, she blames, the bad vibes on the bad energy.
I can see
what I'm saying? So it's only fitting that she would ask, hey, who died here? Has anybody died in here? You know what I'm saying? So she was looking at living in a house. If we lived in a house with the bad energy, we didn't want to live there. If it, positive energy, all right, we can work with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a crazy experience looking to buy a house. So I definitely understand.
The frustration of it all.
And you took the words right out of my mouth because, the frustration is, one frustrating thing could be the bank didn't approve you or didn't even look at you. You know what I'm saying? And you call and you can agree, you'll call 6 or 7 banks until you pick that right person. And it's not. And believe me, it is not easy. Not easy. First, you got to get approved to be able to go look at houses sometimes. We weren't approved, but with me and her credit, we knew that there was nothing going to hold us back from getting approved. There was little minor things. So we were fine. But finding the right bank the first time around, it was, you're going to this bank, that bank, this, and everybody's giving you the runaround. Nobody wants to talk to you. Look at your credit score and they feel, oh, that's not working. They have but we had good credit. We didn't understand why they didn't want to work with us. So, eventually we found somebody really good that actually helped us, worked with us. And here we are today in a house. To date, we have not missed a mortgage payment. To date, we have not missed a mortgage payment. Thank the Lord. God, we might be broke, at times, but mortgage is always paid.
Shit, that's
no matter
important.
what
Those are priorities.
You don't have no money. You have a couple bucks. Pay the bills. We may, like I said, we may not have everything in the world, but
you handle priorities.
The bills are paid.
What's important? Yeah.
I mean, and listen, and we grind. Me and her, we grind. I work insane hours. All over the place.
Yeah, and you understand that.
And it is what it is.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to find ways to make more money.
Like, I don't say I work for me no more, man. Like, I literally work, for my kids. Like, because I'm not the newest sneaker type of person. I'm not the newest outfit type of person. I be looking at some people, man, like, they literally, and listen, shout out to anybody that could do this, man, but, like, I see people, man, that got a pair of sneakers for every outfit.
Yeah.
Man, it'd be
Well,
yellow,
I be seeing people putting the Nike,
it'd be pink, it'd be orange.
The Jordan pictures
the
on
phones,
Facebook. I'm like,
the platforms. I mean, it's people with more suits. I might got like 2 good suits.
I have a little bit more than that. I have a little bit. I will say I have a little bit more than that.
I got a few. I got a few suits, man.
I don't have. There's. Listen. I'm not into phones. You can see my phone is 2016.
Been
it's
war.
cracked. It's been through war.
Harriet Tubman had that phone.
Probably.
Yeah. She used the GPS for the Underground Railroad.
She probably blessed it.
That's how she navigated through the underground road.
She could have. It looks like
old as hell.
It looks like it's been beaten and slapped
Ran
across.
over a couple times. Who chewed? What the?
I was cutting grass and just went poof poof, and that was it.
Did you run over it with the lump?
No, it just went one of those innocent little bumps, jumps, and then that was it. But those the rest of this was gradual. You know, I protected it and went and got a screen protector after the fact.
You're definitely loyal to that phone. I'm gonna tell you that one now. You are.
Well, you can see. Listen, if I had the money, I would have a brand new phone. I have a cracked phone for almost over a year. Over a year, the crack has been.
Yeah, what service provider?
T-Mobile.
Yeah, well, you might as well just, T-Mobile and Metro, the same thing, man. They got some little $40, $50 phones, man. Get the little $50 prepaid.
Nah, pass. I like my phone.
Like, nah, I'll keep it with the Spider-Man cracks on it and everything.
I'll keep it Spider cracks on it.
Yep. Yeah, don't text my phone, man, because if you text my phone, then I'm gonna get cracked text messages. I can't read that.
It'll give you a virus. It'll crack your screen.
Yeah, man, you send me a text message and knock my battery percentage down 30%. Like, what the hell?
But like I said, buying a house, shopping for a house is a
journey.
It's a journey. It's an experience. Like I said, I've outgrown my house, and I'm almost ready to start working on it. I mean, I've been slowly doing things. It's.
Man, could you imagine that these are the type of conversations that we have? Like, all of this is surreal. Like, me and you, we're on a podcast radio station talking about
this is real life.
Houses and stuff.
This is real life. We're
coming from like just young punks in middle school and high school and talking about.
We're not talking about our Beamers.
Families and houses,
housing, buying a house and selling it.
I just had a surreal moment. Like, are we really talking about house shopping? And like, when did we get old? When did this happen?
It happens, man. It happens. In other news, my Braves lost.
What did they lose to?
They lost to the Cardinals, but it's a best of 5, so it's 2-2 right now. It's going back to Atlanta, so hopefully Atlanta could take it in Atlanta. As you see, I'm still rocking my Atlanta because, listen, my team, no matter win or lose, my team has had a hell of a year. I mean, they were counted out. They said, no, they won't be able to duplicate what they did this year, and they have. And here they're 2-2, playing one of the best, I don't know what the hell that was. One of the best pitchers, one of the best teams in the NL for a chance to advance to the championship series. So, for the last couple games, there's the first 2 couple games they've won in almost 18, 20 years.
Nice.
So, I feel confident that's possibly our year. So how was your weekend? We just drove.
No. That was it, and it was pretty much the house shopping, man. But you dropped a jewel on me and on everybody. So like that was very much needed, man. But other than that, like I used all of the insight. I just kept it. It was frustrating. It was definitely frustrating.
It is frustrating because we'll dive back into this thing. Let's. I'll pitch you some scenarios.
Other than that, was my
do you
weekend.
like this? Yeah. Oh, I like this house. This is a real nice house. I like the furniture too. You know what? But it doesn't have an extra closet, and I need an extra closet. I'm like, who the hell cares about an extra closet? We need an extra closet. You have clothes. I have clothes. The kids have clothes. Okay. We need an extra closet. So this is not gonna work. No. Do you want to see the rest of the house? Yeah. Might as well. We're here.
Right.
So that's the kind of scenario that will go on when you're looking for a house.
Absolutely.
It's
crazy you brought that up because we went to a house that didn't have closets in the rooms, and then the master bedroom didn't have any lights. It didn't have a light on the ceiling. Wasn't no lights around. It's just like, what the hell? Like that was a deal breaker.
So there's like little things. Well, you're walking into a house with an expectation. I'll tell you one house. That. We walked into a foreclosed house. The people look like they just left. It looks like the house got either raided or like those stuff all over the place,
Say word.
all over the place. And you just look at the kids' toys, and you think about what happened to the kids. You think about the people, what happened to them. And you either think foreclose, death, split, they don't want to pay the house, so just leave everything in the house. Just walk away from their whole entire, existence. And as you walk in, here's another scenario. You're stepping on people's things. You're like, ooh, I stepped on something. Let me pick it up. And your person that you're with are like, doesn't matter. Nobody's here. They're still in the house. They left it behind. And you're picking up, nice things like, oh crap, you pick up, for instance, anything that you collect, you happen to find that on the ground, and like, you know what, I'm gonna have to take this, and listen, you can call me right now, and if you know damn well, you probably thought about that. Like, it's real. This is real. I'm painting real pictures of your journey into somebody's house. That stuff is just sprawled on the ground, and you're just thinking about when the hell do I get out of this house? Because this house is covered in, we're talking about dog shits in the basement. Looks like they had a dog fighting ring in the basement, and you come upstairs, in the kids' room, it looks like, the kids were crazy, they were possessed, toys in the wall and everything, through the wall, you know what I'm saying? And you see doll heads, all over the place. This is coming inspired from experience from me looking at houses, me seeing certain things, and me just taking life and the possibilities, because that's probably happened. That's probably happened.
Yo, listen, man, you got me walking this visual with you.
Man, oh, they left the car. Is the car coming to the house? Oh, it's an old car. It's in the garage. Is it come? No, that's the owner's. Oh shit. And your expectations when you walk into the house. Oh, this room's so big. Oh man, you wonder what's behind it. You open these small ass rooms. Like damn. The living room was a deal maker. You walk into these small rooms with no closets, and you're like, yeah, we can't do this. Yeah. Oh, it only got one bathroom. We can't do this. Yeah. And needs a roof. We can't do this. Yep. It has oil heat. We can't do it.
House to house to house to house to house.
flood house. Yeah, we can't do it. It's in a flood section. Yeah, we can't do it. Insurance. Bad section. I don't want to go to the school. Okay, we can't go to that. Right. So it's a real pain in the ass. And whoever is watching, if you bought a house, you probably I'm pretty sure you've went through all those kind of type scenarios that I probably just pictured and created.
I'm going through them. I can imagine the people who had.
Crazy, right? Crazy how I'm creating a visual, and we're walking through people's houses.
Mm-hmm.
People's old, girls, the woman's old crusty ass underwear on the ground. I was like, oh shit, I can't believe she left it there.
I went to a musician's house. He had a nice layout, pianos and guitars and pictures.
Those are the pluses.
One lady house I went to, she had a map. She had thousands of little pens and stuff on there. And I remember asking a relative, I'm like, what's these little pens? He was like, that's everywhere she's traveled. I'm like, get the heck out of here. She had like 1,000 pens. Majority of them over in like Japan. It was like Australia and Egypt. Like, when are you home? She was a traveler, and I've never experienced like a traveler. I see them on TV. The ones that just get their backpack and they go hiking in like some mountain in like a whole other country. But like I'm actually in this person's house, and I'm looking at the map of all of their destinations. Like she kept track of her destinations.
You're talking about
it was amazing.
I was talking about all the negatives and the craziness of. But you're talking about the positives. Some places
being inside somebody else's house, and it's just like wow,
wow. Look at you see all the sports memorabilia. Mm-hmm. They have all these old baseballs. Ooh, did that come to the house? You're thinking. You say to the wife, "Hey, does that come to the house? That stay? Because we would like that."
Yes.
You see something nice, an old grandfather clock. Was that gonna stay? And it's not gonna stay.
Nah, did you see the pictures I took that I put on Facebook of the other person's house? They had all old school stuff. They had big back TVs. They had rotary phones. It was a cool
I
clock.
think I may have. Yeah.
And I just went crazy. I went snapping away because it was like I walked back into like 1960s to the 80s again. Everything was either 60, 70, or 80. It was an old refrigerator. It was magnets on the refrigerator.
What are you saying? Nobody can have magnets on the refrigerator?
Not like this. This was old school refrigerator. Like they just refused to live up to the times. Oh man, what else?
What are you saying? If you don't live up to your times, what's up with that?
No, this person was just in a
I didn't live
bubble.
up to the times,
and
so
it was amazing. Like downstairs they had a rotary phone. Upstairs it was the old school answer machines with messages still on it. Like you press the button, it's like hi.
Did they live in the house still?
They weren't there at that time.
Oh, but they still live in the
house. Yeah. Their stuff was still there.
So it's probably older.
They had the old school lamps, and I just went crazy snapping away. And I ain't mean to be all up in these people's houses.
They were probably there for about 40, 50 years.
I bet you if one of my Facebook friends probably still to this day like that stuff looks familiar, man. Like I swear he was at my aunt's house, and I probably was. It probably was one of your relatives or something, man. But I put all of those pictures on Facebook because I couldn't believe what I was walking into.
Probably an older, couple that would probably been there 50 years.
Time machine.
And they just never changed everything.
Nothing.
Just
they changed
nothing. They they didn't feel the need to change anything. So like, you know what? Just keep the house like that.
And I thought it was cool. Like I thought it was amazing. And I took the pictures and I put it on Facebook. And like I was just asking people, I was like, "Do you remember this?" And everybody who seen the pictures were thrown back. They was like, "Yo, like, do they actually have a rotary phone?" I'm like, "And it's connected. It's connected to the landline. Like they never switched to the cell phones. They never did none of that. Their lamps were old school. The refrigerator, old school. Ironing boards, everything was old school. And I loved that, man. I loved everything about it, man, because it's like everybody has this thing to keep up to the times, And they was like, F that. I'm keeping my answer machine. F that. I'm keeping my landline. Like, no, I'm keeping it works. I'm keeping my refrigerator.
You see, I didn't keep
TVs with the turn knobs, with the. I don't know.
Still have the hanger as a.
Bruh. I don't know if I still
have the hanger as a
got them
antenna?
pictures. I don't even remember. I was just taking. My kids were just lost. They were like, "What are these knobs on their TV?" And we had to explain to them that that's how you turn the TV. They're like, "What?" They were amazed to see a big back TV. I'm like, "Yeah, like these is how the TVs were, and they were ones bigger than these that you had to take in the house."
Isn't it crazy that we grew up in a time where that transition of TVs went from those big ass backs, those heavy ass things, and y'all know. So if y'all watching, if y'all picked up one of those, those things don't. I don't care what kind of old school TV, big backs, or when Grandma had the ones, the big wooden box, that sat on the floor and everybody would lay around it,
Yeah, the big wooden ones. Man.
Yeah. I think
it
everybody.
took like 5 people to carry those.
I think everybody's grandma had one of those.
Yeah, and once that one went blank, you had a little one on top of that one that you got from like a store just to, keep everybody watching TV in the house. A lot of houses had the big TV with the little one on top.
Yeah, that takes me back. But it's crazy that we grew up in the age where the big backs were existent. And then we made it to the, smaller, sleeker backs.
Yeah, they were still big.
They were still big.
And
then it came up to the big screen, heavy big screens.
Yeah.
That were like humongous. That were like gaudy. That would be
damn near like the size of this damn.
They were heavy as hell. And then, and you didn't. Everybody, if somebody gave them to you, you're like, yeah, I don't want it. And then we went to the flat panels that we have now.
And that's what they're used to.
That's what they used to.
They had never seen a TV with turn knobs.
Yeah, easy TVs.
They were wondering how it worked. Well, what do you do? And I remember Bree, she's the oldest. She was like, well, what's the difference between the top one and the bottom one? And I'm like, well, that was kind of like AM, FM. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the big one, you would turn to channel 3 because that gave you clarity. The little ones, you had a whole bunch more options to turn to, but every TV only had probably like 6, 7 good functional channels.
And it's crazy that they talk about like the old, going back into a time capsule. I've talked about extensively my love for flea market, going to flea markets, going to secondhand spots. Just going back into that going back and put myself into that, I recently seen. I was going in the film. I recently seen old pictures, like just couple, people taking pictures, and I'm like, man, look how life looked back then. So simple, and you see, and then you look at the, just piles of totes open, and you see like, you can tell that somebody went and bought a one of those storage units and took everybody's shit and started selling it. Yeah. You could tell because it's not personalized. You know what I'm saying? You could tell if it's somebody, somebody's belongings where they just put it in a box and just open and leave it there. And they cover it up with a tarp, and it gets rain and it gets all wet. And they come the next day and do the same shit over and over again. Where it's personal, it's the stuff you wrap it up really nice. It means you take personal pride in selling stuff. Right. So, but it breaks my heart to think, whose stuff was this? You know what I'm saying? Then you see the pictures and you see the creative, stuff, and you see all the stuff that they threw out or lost. You wonder what happened.
You still got pictures and frames at the house?
Just with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I mean, we don't have a lot. I still have to put up a couple more pictures, but we have a little bit of pictures up on frames, just a little bit, not.
Because even stuff like that is gonna be old school. Like the pictures, like real pictures, like they're in frames.
Yeah.
It's like becoming a thing of the past.
Shout out to all the listeners, the viewers, around the world. We appreciate you guys, tuning in with us.
Leave it up to Jay. Jay still has a 20-inch TV that has a fat back. He said, I tried to sell it when I moved out of my apartment, and I couldn't give it away. See, I still have it, and it still works. It's their loss.
I literally just said that.
You
can't give those things away. And you see them like secondhand stores.
You understand me?
As you can see with secondhand stores, and they're asking $50. I'm like, $50? Who the hell even wants this? You can't. I'm not even. If you gave it to me for free, I don't want it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, and listen, when I went to this lady's house, remember the old school alarm clocks that you wind up and they go?
Yeah, I still have. I think I still have one of them somewhere.
Yeah, they still had. I mean, everything that was in that house I hadn't seen in so long. Oh my gosh, the record player that they had, the stereo.
Was it a big wooden box?
The old school ones, yeah, like where they sat around to actually hear the games or like to hear the fights and stuff.
No, I'm talking about the one that looked like a.
Almost
dresser.
like it kind of looked like a dresser. And
true story. In 1990, 1989, 90, 91, and we had one of those radios.
The big, the whole system.
And we would blast Q102 on it.
Wow. Now, did you have the record on top of yours?
Yes, and we heard freestyle through. That's when Q102 were like big on freestyle, and the freestyle music was just killing the waves. It was like all over so Q102 was the number one like channel for radio stations.
What did you do with it?
What do you mean?
I
don't know.
The entertainment system.
I don't know. I don't know whatever happened to it. I don't know if we threw it away. It stopped working.
You still got a VCR?
I still have a VCR.
Yeah, we do.
I think I still have a VCR. I think.
No, we still have one.
I have a DVD player.
It's not plugged up. My kids asked what it was.
I think I have to have a PlayStation 3. I use that for the DVD. Sometimes I play. Then I have the old school Nintendo that it's new school that plays the old games. I have a joystick for Atari. You plug in, it's one of those plug-ins. I'm pretty much, still in my inner. I'm still in contact with my inner 80s. Yeah. Inner 70s, early 90s.
I had a friend of mine that still got a ton of VCR tapes. A ton of them.
I do. I still have them.
VCR tapes.
One thing is though, what's worth money is VCR blanks. You can't find them anywhere. You can find them, but it's hard to find. You really can't find blank VCR tapes. So those are valuable. So if you grab some, you can sell them.
Right.
Yeah, the resale value, you can't really find them anymore. You know, I recently bought a hoard of things, not ugly things or anything, but I bought a whole bunch of things for, it wasn't a lot of money, but it was a lot of what I bought, and the resale value on them, it's just incredible. So like it was definitely worth it. Meaning, especially when every day is a grind. If I can, move $1 to make $2, I'm gonna try to do that. So insane.
Yeah. I love messing with my kids. They're like, "What's a VCR?" When they ask what's a VHS, when they ask what a record is.
Speaking of speaking of kids, we talked about your weekend, but we never talked about mine.
Let's talk about how you didn't make it to the mall.
Well, I didn't make it to the mall.
I'm not even sure if it was Lindsay. Because
I didn't make it to the mall because I was fixing my car. Yeah. My car had an issue. I would drive and it would make a yanking. It would jerk really. So I had
transmission.
No, it was not the transmission. We got it fixed. It was a 4 or 5 hour. We were trying to diagnose it, trying to figure out what it was. He changed one piece. I had paid him. Then we went, to the store, and it wasn't. And it was a pain in the ass. But thank my boy, Joe, for helping me with it.
So what else you do?
I went to Six Flags yesterday for the Fright Fest.
Y'all made it in this time.
Yes, we made it in this time. It wasn't crazy. We went on a different day. And we went on a different day. It was cloudy. It was, football. It was a lot of things were in that, were playing in our factor that it wasn't going to be that packed. It was still packed, but it wasn't insane, And my daughter went. Shout out to my daughter. She also had the bravery to go. We didn't go as a family because she was scared in the past. So, we talked her into going, and, we took a couple pictures with, she took a couple pictures with the zombies. So I think she's better with that. My son was there. He wasn't even scared. He was you're like, yeah, and, so yeah.
So you like that attraction, the Fright Fest?
That's one of my, Halloween is one of my favorite times of the year. One, because one of my kids is born in it. 2, Halloween. And 3 is the fall.
Now, does Fright Fest switch up? Like, do they switch routines? Like, if you go there like one day this week, and let's say you go there again, is it like a different attraction, like different zombies, or?
Well, I mean, yeah, probably the zombies are going to change. Obviously, people shifts in times are going to change. So different zombies at different locations will change. The attractions, the attractions will not change. But they have at 6 o'clock. They have at sundown. They have a parade. In the parade, it's always going to change. Depending on who's there, what zombies are there. What drivers. What I'm saying.
Yeah, kind of like Sesame Place. Like at a certain time, they come out.
Exactly. So you get to see the hearse carriages and the army of ghouls and goblins and skeletons, whatever is there. So it's not bad. It's really not a bad experience to see. The Fright Fest. It's actually one of my fun times. I seen one of my friends out there, Jill Terrell, freestyle artist and singer. Jill Terrell there. She came up to us and said hi. So shout out to Jill Terrell.
Isabella wasn't feeling it at first, and I guess she's more prepared this year.
Well, past times she didn't want to go. It's all right. We're gonna leave you home and we'll go. And we did. She said, I want to go. So it's all right. We'll go. So no, one day she was like, I want to go this time. I was like, all right, then you can't be scared. And she was like, I won't be scared. And she, of course she's a girl, so she's gonna get scared a little, So, but she was all right. She wasn't that bad. That was my weekend.
I got a thing for the haunted houses. I like the haunted houses and the attractions. I like the Four Corners of Chaos.
My thing that I like to do is I don't like to wait for Halloween or October to go exploring. I like to explore like old abandoned, places. Within reason, without killing yourself. Go to explore some old, abandoned property. Something worth, visiting. You know, and if it's haunted, you get to explore the idea of it being haunted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
Yeah. My cigarette, but
No, I don't know. No.
it's around somewhere. But
Not here.
yeah, I'm all for that too. Like the old prisons, and like old
Yeah, I mean,
hospitals and stuff like that.
during Halloween time one year, me and the wife, we went to the Eastern State Penitentiary. It was before the kids. This is like probably right when we got married, or like right after we got married, so in around that time. So went to check it out. Went out to eat. We made it a day. The line was long. The attraction could have been better, in my opinion. But I wouldn't see it during off season where it's not an attraction. I want to see original walls, not something that's made there just try to scare me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This way I can get a better idea, of what the place is, or looks like. That's the one thing I don't like. Like the Cruiser Mansion, they used to dress it up.
I remember that.
That was really fun. But I like to see the house without it set up, and the reason they stopped that is because they would destroy the house. You know what I'm saying? Poles and things. It's like historical. It's a historical landmark. So they ended that. You know what I'm saying? So that was fun, and we're going back years.
Yeah.
We're going back almost
Decades.
25 years.
Yeah, over 2 decades, yeah.
About 25 years. 27 years. Almost 27 years ago. I think that was. I think so. We're going back maybe 95, 94.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I remember it being done.
Definitely before 2000, I'll tell you that one now. Way before.
Oh yeah. There was in the late 90s. It wasn't done. It was done. It was 94, 95. One of the last times I remember it being done. And they just destroyed the house, the meaning of the house. It was a summer home, not a haunted house. But the property is said to be really haunted. So, yeah, really, really haunted. So it's fun to go there when they have like ghosts, hunters or whatever there. When you just want to visit the house. Some of the people that look at the house, they go downstairs and they hear shit and stuff like that. So it's definitely worth checking out. Definitely worth checking out on a off day, not when Winter Wonderlands happen.
Right. Did you ever try the Gravity Hill thing?
Yeah,
You're on the hill, you put your car in neutral. And it just
in the
rolls up
late '90s and the early 2000s, the group of friends that I would hang with, it was more calmer, not cynical, crazy, and not the group of friends that I hung out with during that time weren't as crazy as all my other groups of friends. You know what I'm saying? We'll say.
Word.
But that was the craziest thing we would do. We would drive to these abandoned places. We would drive to, we went to Lamberton School, where, really, really scary. Really, really old, and the place is supposedly caught on fire. It's supposedly tore down. Well, we did the Gravity Hill. It was, nothing really happened. It was just, we didn't find anything scary about it. Later in life, I went to Baby's Bridge, over the bridge in Pennsylvania, and that was a little scary. You can actually, said to be a a Civil War time era bridge used during the war. And they said that they may have hung people on there, so it was, you could hear, like, when I was there, you could hear, like, the howling. It was a little eerie, a little sketchy.
Set the scene.
It was a little scary to be out there. So, back in the day, I would do stuff like that.
Same here. Definitely saying here. What's the one place in Philly? I think you gotta sound like a waiver.
The Asylum, I think.
Yeah.
The,
That nobody really makes it to the.
it's the Asylum or something like that. It's
Or what is it, like 13th floor or whatever?
I don't. Whoever knows, let us know. Either comment or call in.
Yeah, it's probably like
619
13 doors,
807
13
2492. It was an asylum. It's an asylum because they have two attractions: the Eastern State Prison, the Eastern State Penitentiary that Al Capone once was in, and I was there, and the asylum. It was I forgot the name of it, but it's an asylum. It's Pennsylvania. And there's haunted mazes, haunted hay rides. I don't think I've ever been on really haunted hay rides. I really don't think I've ever been in in a place so scary that a haunted hay ride was really scary.
All right. Yeah, they're not.
They're not scary to me. I mean, to me, I think they're bullshit.
I got relatives, man, that when they go like into their stories, man, it's like they are one of a kind. Like I got an aunt, like my pop, a couple of my uncles, like when they get into like just some of their experiences, like it literally just take you away, and they know inside their mind.
Are we talking about real
Yeah,
ghosts?
no, that's real.
Well,
like,
I mean,
they know
listen,
in their mind that's what happened. You know what I mean? That's what make it so interesting and intriguing.
some people have the ability to see ghosts. Some people have the ability to see it, feel them and hear them. Some people don't. Some are skeptics, some are believers, some are seers and shit like that. I believe in them. I believe in the afterlife and the ghost. I believe that they exist. On to a limit. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I do believe that they exist. It's just that. We could talk. We can have this conversation about ghosts next week.
Hey, look, I'm all for it. I mean, yeah, cause like just like you said, like to a limit. I believe in instances and happenings. Like I believe like there's a good chance like you can catch the whiff or fragrance of somebody who's like consuming your mind. Dreams get reached out to you.
To me, in my opinion, ghosts are in a parallel universe. We live in reality, and their soul is stuck between parallels, dimensions. And I think that it's possible that heaven could be a different dimension.
You know why I won't dispute you on that?
It could be.
Because like if it's one thing that we learned in science is that energy never dies. It's only transformed from one form to another.
Exactly, and they probably
that's scientific fact.
They're probably crossing paths or roads. That's how they say ghosts get seen because they forget that they're being seen and they forget their existence. That's what they say. I mean, I don't know.
Interesting. Intriguing.
We're gonna talk about this next week, though. We'll talk about this because it's October, it's Halloween. We wanna make it more interesting. So
set the
that's
tone.
what we're gonna do next week.
Set the tone for it. I'm for that.
Might
even have Ruben dim the lights.
It's possible, if you want. No, we don't do it.
A couple of sound effects.
Nah.
That's just my little
we'll play the tubular bells in the background. But yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll talk about just we were talking about going into people's houses, and we were talking about experiencing going to people's houses to buy. Now we'll make this a second. We'll marry this show with next week's show.
Part 2 it.
Part 2, and we'll talk about ghosts. We have not ever talked about ghosts. We probably talked about almost every single thing known to man on this show, probably.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the supernatural. Your experiences, my experiences. Yeah. Y'all could call in your experiences. Because Jay, shout out to Jay for saying, growing up in Milestone, he said the kids in my neighborhood tried to scare me with the story about the black figure, the ghost of the man who died in a house fire and could be seen walking around the area. But he said, I never took the bait. Might not have to just necessarily be that story. It might be a story that, a family member possibly told.
His story might be a town folklore. Mm-hmm. It might be a story told generation after generation. And they just told him to try to scare him. Because they heard it from somebody else.
We got him. What about the New Jersey Devil? That's one of them.
We got him.
That's another one. The Amityville Horrors. That was up here. Basically damn near New Hope, Lambertville, all that.
No. I was in Amityville, New York. And I actually have pictures of the actual house.
I thought that was here. I thought that was New Jersey.
No, that was in New York. That was a little bit north New York.
And that's the ghost that was taking advantage of the women while she was sleeping.
The Amityville? No. The Amityville, what happened was, the family got killed. Somebody killed the whole family, and whoever, that was one of the guys or something. And they're saying the house is haunted. You know what I'm saying?
Like the Annabelle.
So people drive by and take pictures of the house. They got cameras on the house, because people constantly.
One thing I won't mess with, like you said, energy is everything. One thing I won't mess with is that Annabelle doll. That Annabelle doll exists.
Yeah, you won't ever see me. You won't ever see me touching that.
Yeah, like it's in a box. Or like certain artifacts, like when you go to like Egypt and like they got them lost tombs, like they tell you not to remove this stone or like not to touch that because it's.
If you ever encounter me in a temple in Egypt, just remind me not to open anything.
I'm gonna tell you like
but
this.
I will not be that because I'm not gonna be opening anything.
If we both go to Egypt and we just happen to be inside your entourage and you take a diamond out of the cursed tomb, you on your own. Cause I ain't take it. Did you take it?
Nope. I didn't take it.
I'm cool. Yeah. No negative energy over here. Exactly. Keep that shit way over there, brother.
Yep.
Straight like that.
But it's crazy. That's crazy what we talk about, right? Like, it's surreal. We're gonna be talking about ghosts next week. I mean,
hope y'all ready.
Do you think they exist? I mean,
do they exist?
It's not something we've never really done
at all.
Is continuation of a show, not completely continuation, but topic related.
It's a topic related part two of a show. It's uncharted territory
we've never talked
that we're going into in the month of October.
We've never ever talked about ghosts, and I'm actually gonna try to get a guest on to talk about ghosts with us.
Jay's on to something. He said, just don't read from the Book of the Dead. He said, you'll awaken the creature. I heard about the Book of the Dead. The Book of the Dead is the Hindu Vedas. That's
never read that book
supposed
either.
to be like the oldest religious Bible.
I will never read from that book either.
Yeah, like you even got the Devil's Bible. The devil actually has a Bible.
Yeah, I will never read out of that book either.
Like you got seances and chants.
I will never do anything like that. I'll pass all that stuff.
It's also said that elite members of society do chants and seances to summon spirits to empower them for global and financial wealth and stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you're right.
We could jump into that.
I'm not gonna. No, we're not.
Oh, you don't want to talk about skull and crossbones and
no, we're not.
A lot of fraternals and all that other stuff.
That's for another day. We'll keep it ghosts and spirits and supernatural on one show, and then we'll go to conspiracy theories full force. We did talk about some conspiracy theories a couple weeks ago, maybe last week or a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was about that too. A couple weeks ago.
So we can revisit that topic on a different day. We definitely will. But ghosts we have not talked about
at all.
So that's the only thing we have not. We've not had any guests talking about ghosts. We have not had any guests, so that is what we're gonna go try to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to people who got the guts to call in, and
I'm gonna reach out to a writer.
Yeah, let's go do our homework and our research, like Ghostbusters.
What are your shout-outs?
And my shout-outs are to you. My shout-outs are to Hamilton Radio. My shout-outs are to all of my family and friends. My shout-outs are to everybody, to the world. As best as I can tell y'all, love, peace, and happiness.
I second to that. Shout out to everybody that's a part of my life. My wife, my son, my daughter, my son. I love you guys. All my friends, love you guys. Everybody that I engage throughout my life, during my daily, life. My condolences to those who lost somebody recently. Condolences to people I lost recently. Shouts to those who get up and keep on getting up and keep on fighting. Shout out to those, that are in pain and are fighting, with every ounce of their body. Shout out to yous that continue to fight. This is also Breast Cancer Month, right? Make sure you get yourself checked. Shout out to you, bro.
Domestic Violence Month too.
Domestic Violence Month. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Helms Radio. Shout out to Ruben. Shout out to Monk. Shout out to Monk that was just in here a little bit ago.
Hey, shout out to Monk. Monk just walked in and showed some love.
Shout out to Gino. Shout out to all the hosts on Helms Radio. Shout out to all their shows. Shout out to happy anniversary for Troy. He had a show anniversary. Shout out to all you guys. Without you guys, we're just be two boring ass dudes on Facebook Live. But you guys, you guys allow us to come on, and bother you, and we give you, we leave you with some gems.
Shout out to y'all, man, for tuning in and stuff too. Jay is awesome, man. Jay, listen, man, I enjoy every time, you comment, man. You need to call in, stop in, be a guest or something sometime, man. I look forward to it. I told you that. I said every time I look forward to his comments, I literally disregard everything that everybody's saying and
we can't do that. We can't just disregard everybody.
No, just me personally. That's just me. Like, you can look at all the comments you want, but I check out Jay's because I know it's about to be something related to what we said. His spin is usually it be on point.
Well, shout out to him.
Definitely.
Shout out to those who commented. Shout out to those who viewed. Shout out to those who listened. Thank you guys always. We love you guys. We're the Freestyle Freaks on HamiltonRadio.net. This is Billy the Kid, my right-hand man. I'm Ralph Ryan, also known as DJ Noise. And we're out.
Peace.
And hopefully my Braves win. And my Eagles won. Yeah.
True.
But my Braves need to win. Tomorrow, Wednesday.
Yeah, shout out to them Eagles, man. They did it. They them boys.
No, them boys got beat. Them real boys got beat. Screw them boys. What? We have a next break?
What?
We're done.
A break?
We're done.
Something about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. All right, you guys have a good one, man. Y'all be good.
I don't think